So I don't usually do this kind of thing, but I feel like talking to someone, so why not a camera? So it's relatively late at night, and I'm sitting here with my cup of tea that is too hot to drink. And I just sort of started thinking, like one typically does when it's relatively late at night. And I've been thinking about irrational fears. And I'm not talking about like fear of the dark or fear of bugs or what am I doing with my hands. Or fear of that guy who kind of reminds you of your uncle but he's really creepy. Those like common irrational fears. No, I'm talking about the types of irrational fears that just make about 0 sense to you or anyone else. Those kinds. Those kinds where you're just like, okay, what is this? What am I doing? I've come to realize that I have a plethora of them. A lot of them. And I'm going to share a couple of them with you in hopes that one of you can maybe relate, make me feel a little better. Maybe. And the first one I want to talk about is elevators. Not like the normal fear of like getting stuck in an elevator or the fact that it's a small space, even though I am afraid of that, but that's not. That's a different. I have a really strange fear that the door is just gonna like shut on me as soon as I like step into the elevator and just crush me. I do this little like leap when I get into the elevators, and then everyone in the elevator is just like, what was that? Once you're in there, it's just like, ah, I made it. I survived the door. And then everybody's just like, you're crazy. Yeah. Another one I have is when someone like unexpectedly touches me or makes physical contact with my skin, I will either like jerk away as violently as I can if I'm taken off guard, or if you're lucky, I will let out a really high-pitched squeak. Not a scream or a squeal, a squeak. I have done this in the middle of Walmart once when my mom came up behind me and put a hand on my back, and I just made this incredibly high-pitched noise, and about everyone within 10 miles looked. It was great. Yeah. That one is relatively new. Like, I haven't always reacted that way when someone's touched me, and I'm just like, where did this come from? Another fear that I have is spiders, and I know what you're thinking. Everyone's afraid of spiders. I'm not typically afraid of spiders. I'm fine with spiders as long as they're not on me, you know? Spiders that are just hanging out on the floor or outside or whatever, you know what? I'm fine. That's great. No, I am terrified of spiders when they're hanging out on the wall or hanging out on the ceiling, just being a spider and just completely defying gravity and laws of physics. I feel like they're just gonna like attack because they're already defying gravity, so who knows what else they could be doing. They could just crawl across the ceiling in the middle of the night, and when I'm asleep on the bed, they could just fall right down on top of me and just kill me in my sleep, because that's what spiders do. Being judged for my parking. Yeah. Okay, and this is probably my worst one, and it's definitely the one that I guess affects my life the most. It's also definitely the one that I get made fun of most by my family. It's kind of difficult for me to even talk about it, but I am terrified of those biscuit cans, you know? Biscuits come in them and cinnamon rolls and those cans that you peel and they pop and you get biscuits out and you put, yeah. Those scare the crap out of me. I don't know what it is about them necessarily, but I don't even like thinking about it. Like, I can't even hold them without cringing and holding it like it's just going to spontaneously explode. I can't open them. I have to get someone to do it for me. I don't think there's really anything more embarrassing than, Mom, can you open this because it really scares me. It's a biscuit can. Late at night, I wanted to make cinnamon rolls or something, and I couldn't even do it. Like, I had considered waking up my mom because I couldn't do it. I ended up just not even making them because I was just too afraid to open the can. This is definitely the one that I get made fun of most. Like, my entire family makes fun of me for it, and it's weird, and you'd think after a while I would get over it, but I just haven't been able to, and it is a truly irrational fear that makes 0 sense to me, 0 sense to anyone else, but it is very real, and my mother can vouch. She'll tell you all about it, and all about the times, the many, many times that she's had to come all the way from, like, upstairs or wherever she was to open a can of biscuits. I'm not proud of it. This is still just extremely hot. Those are the only ones that I can think of right now, but there are so many just little things that just freak me out, generally. Luckily, tea isn't one of them. I love tea. What am I talking about? And this is the part where I just have absolutely no idea how to end the video, so I'm just gonna awkwardly slide away.